Hello guys, it's Marek here, Marek Mularczyk from marekmularczyk.com, and welcome to another episode of PhotoshopLightroomTV, your weekly video podcast about anything Photoshop, Lightroom and photography related. And this video, in this week, I have another video tutorial on another new Photoshop CC feature for you. Yes, because we've got Photoshop CC, it's been around for a bit of time. So I want to cover all the new features for you. And so this week, me and my dear friend Terry White will join you here. I've got this image of Terry, which I took at one of the events when Terry came over with one of the Adobe seminars. This was a few years ago when they were doing a tour. I'm guessing this was for CS5 because you got a CS5 logo here. And this was in Birmingham. And the feature I want to show you is the new Radial Filter in Camera Raw 8 in Photoshop CC. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into Camera Raw. I've got this image open already, so I'll just go to Filter. Oh, actually, I'm going to convert it to Smart Filters first, so I can re-edit it, and I'll click OK. So the image is a smart object. Then I'll go into Filter, Camera Raw Filter, to open this image inside Camera Raw. Okay, and here's this guy in here. This is the Radial Filter. And with Radial Filter, you can adjust different sections of the image using oval elliptical shapes. So for example, I'm going to make the part with the Terry lighter because he's in the shadow. I didn't use the flash in there because it was a presentation. Then I'll make the background darker without creating selections. I'll just use the Radial Filter instead here. So with the Radial Filter selected, I'm going to start by drawing a circle here. So I'll just click and drag, something like that. I'm going to drag that using this green handle here to move it to the bottom of the image. I'll resize that, reshape that. Here we go. Now, when you create an effect, I want to lighten it, yes, so it's doing the right job. Have a look on this effects section here, because by default, Camera Raw, when you use Radial Filter, will use the outside. That's the default setting. So you may need to change to inside. Okay, so because I've changed to the inside, and I want to make it lighter, I'm increasing the exposure. It's doing it from the center. I don't want to go too far because there's lots of shadows in here. Here we go. I can move it down a bit. You can resize the shape at any time. Okay, you could make it maybe more like that. Here we go. If you don't want that anymore, you can delete it by holding Alt key down on the keyboard, and your cursor changes into an scissors, and just click anywhere on your object to delete it. If you want it to be a perfect circle, you hold the Shift key down, like you do with anything else when you work in Photoshop. And if you want to add another one, I'll click New here under Radial Filter. I'll draw another one on the top of the image. Draw it out. That's a bit too big. Well, let's give it a go. Let's see. Something like that. That looks good. I'm still working on the inside, but I do want to make it darker, so I'm going to drop the exposure, darken a bit, or maybe shadows. Let's have a look. If we can shadows down, it's very subtle, so I'll drop the shadows and I'll lower the exposure even a bit more, not too much because this will boost the contrast. Could lower the contrast as well. Let's make it a bit softer, lower the exposure even more. That's not too bad. Okay. So I've got two objects, one here and one here. You just move the cursor over it and you can see the actual object when you move the cursor over its center point. Okay. I'll just click away. So the circles are gone. We've got a preview in here, so that's before, that's after. Quite a big difference, especially in the bottom. We've got more light on Terry's face, so it looks much better. And I'll just click OK when you're done. In this case, this is becoming a smart filter, so we can reuse it and re-edit it in time. Much better image, much more light in here. With Radial Filter radial adjustment, and as inside camera raw. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. I'm Marek Mularczyk from MarekMularczyk.com, and this was another episode of Photoshop Lightroom TV, your weekly video podcast about anything Photoshop, Lightroom and photography. If you like it, share it with friends and others. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.